So we've got Lloyd Fay and Matt Williams. I'm Donald Strachan. Right. So can I ask you about? You say that the Thula Borah sound is distinctive, which I agree with, but also the name is a kind of intriguing name as well. Am I supposed to know something about what it means, or is it? Could you explain first of all what the name's about?
It is actually the name of a person, an Indian recluse who made the news. I think it was about 10 years ago. I read a news story about this person who had gone to his bedroom to study for his exams when he was maybe 17 or something like that, and he never re-emerged for like 30, 40 years or something like that. I think he's still in there.
Oh, right. I was toying with anagrams and all sorts of things.
Right.
That's nice to know that. I've been listening to your album Qualia. That's how you pronounce it?
I think there's many accepted pronunciations. Qualia.
So that's coming out later on this month.
That's right, 22nd.
22nd of July. So, Qualia is the album. You've explained to me where the name of the band comes from. Where does the name of the album come from?
Again, it's a kind of tricky one to explain. Qualia means kind of where your subjective experience breaks down and you can't really communicate it to others. So it's a sort of vague psychological term. The example that always seems to come up in books and online is describing colours to people who've been blind since birth. You know, how would you describe, for example, the colour red to someone? So it's basically your own individual subjective experience and gets to the smallest points where you can't explain it to anyone else and you're basically alone in your head.
To a certain extent, your music is kind of, I find it difficult to sort of pigeonhole, which is a good thing because I'm not a great believer in genres and, you know, slotting things in and saying, that's that type of music. And I found there was all sorts of echoes coming through, you know, from bands that I listened to back in the 60s and 70s, right through to current stuff. And I found that really quite pleasing that it's not an easy sort of thing to categorize. It means it's something a bit more special and something that needs to be listened to very carefully and can have a lot of interpretations put on the music. So, how long have you been together as a band?
We started sort of jamming it was actually as far back as 2007. Matt and myself started playing together, but we didn't really come together in the current sort of line-up till about 2009 when we first started playing live. So yeah, I'd say 2009 is when we settled on the name Thula Borah and started gigging around Glasgow. And we released our first record in 2010.
And had you had experience with other bands prior to that?
Speaking for myself and Matt, not really. The other members of the band had. This was really our first attempt at. I'd always tried to put bands together, but it just fell through. So my first ever gig was my first ever gig with Thula Borah.
Kev, the other guitar player, I think he's been in at least 2 bands, and I think Mikey, who plays drums, has been in a few bands as well in the past, maybe like high school and that kind of thing.
Right.
And he's now with us. You can't have him back.
Well, you certainly seem to make a good sound together, from what I've heard so far, anyway.
Thanks.
Right, so your album comes out on the 22nd, and the day before that, you're at the art school in Glasgow to start off a little tour.
Yeah, we're launching the album on the Sunday night, Sunday 21st. And after that, we're going on a sort of mini tour. We're playing the Banshee Labyrinth in Edinburgh on Friday the 26th of July. Looking forward to that. Then we're going up to Inverness, play the Eagle Bar. Yeah, I mean, our drummer's from Inverness and he's never been there.
Oh, right.
So we think it might be new.
Work that one out. He's from Inverness, he's never been there.
Saturday, 3rd of August, we're at the Moorings Bar in Aberdeen, which hopefully people will have heard of as well. Yeah. Seems quite popular.
And then 4th of August, you're off to my birthtown of Dundee.
Oh, I see.
20 Rocks.
Excellent. Yeah, we've played Dundee before and it was a really good gig, so we're looking forward to that.
So just, as you say, a mini tour. But I noticed that the opening night, the art school in Glasgow, is free entry.
Yeah, I mean, it's a Sunday night, so just to get as many bodies along as possible before the impending Monday. Dawn's.
The working week comes in. Yeah.
Mm.
And you've got a couple of sport bands in Glasgow as well, I see.
So I've just got a couple of our friends' bands playing. So Inuit are kind of electro-y, minimalist, post-rock, instrumental band. And also we've got our friends' band Bianca playing, who are a little bit more just song-based alternative rock.
Right. One of the other things I'd like to ask you about, and this is, I often do this on radio, I talk about visual stuff. And there's this intriguing image on the website, particularly, it crops up a few times. It looks, well, it's like an octopus kind of thing, but it looks as if it's man-made. It's not a. Can you explain what it is?
Sure. Do you not recognise it if you're from Dundee? Is this the front cover of Qualia we're talking about here?
I think it could be.
Yeah.
It looks like the roof of a bandstand, but it's escaped from a bandstand.
It is the bandstand in Dundee.
Ah, right. In Caird Park, is it?
Perhaps. I don't really know. But,
well, maybe not. I think there's. I think I remember.
Some people from Dundee. Yeah.
But yeah, it's been manipulated, and it's like a UFO taking off.
Yeah. I mean, I think that sort of plays into also like our album titles and the band's name, like keeping things.
And it's a bit
kind of
blurry,
vague imagery. Yeah.
It's good. Yeah.
It's like kind of ink spots pictures, the psychological
the
test where you project what you want to see or what your instincts see on these images, and that's something we like to keep running through our artwork, keep it vague and let the sort of listener, viewer or observer project their own thoughts and images. So
I think that's useful because sometimes if things are too clear, you pick it up, you hear it, you've heard it, and that's it.
Yeah.
You don't want to listen again. Whereas I've enjoyed playing your album a few times because I'm picking up different strands, different things every time.
Our songs aren't the most narrative, so we're not really forcing a narrative on anyone.
Thanks very much for your time, and look, please send me future releases.
Will do.
And take care, and good luck with your tour.
Thank you very much.
Right, bye,
Cheers,
Lloyd. Bye, Matt. Bye.
Cheers. See you, Donald.